Good evening and welcome back, viewers, friends, followers. Welcome back to the NCAA not so official NCAA Pick'em. I am your host, as always, Big T. Week 2 had a whole lot of games and a whole lot of surprises, so let's get right back to it. Starting off, just like we did with the preview show, in the ACC, we started off with Georgia Tech and University of South Florida. Bulls look to be firing all cylinders. I tell you what, I was real impressed with the young man returning 2 kickoffs in a row for touchdowns. Whenever your special teams spots you 2 touchdowns in a game, always important. As a matter of fact, without those 2 touchdowns, the Bulls don't get the win and walk out of Raymond J. Stadium as a winner, 49-38. Georgia Tech putting up a lot of points for a team that likes to control the ball, though. So, ought to be interesting. Penn State and Pitt squared off. Just a beatdown by the Nittany Lions, proving they are a force to be reckoned with in the Big Ten. James Franklin, not a whole lot of love lost for the Pitt Panthers, and Buddy Rowe, it showed as they rolled on 51-6. There in Pittsburgh. Virginia Cavaliers squaring off with the Indiana Hoosiers. And Stevie Scott provided to be the workhorse that the Hoosiers absolutely needed, picking up 204 yards on 31 carries as the Hoosiers managed to outlast the Cavaliers 20-16. Big day for the Hoosiers as they start off 2-0. So look at them go up there in Bloomington. Switching gears to the SEC, of course, the big game of the week was Clemson making its way down to College Station. The Tigers play well, but honestly, in my opinion, the Aggies played better. However, a few questionable calls, of course. Always going to bounce one way or another. Could affect the game, couldn't affect the game. In my opinion, they affect the game a little bit too much. Aggies end up on the wrong side of the call. And really what was a confusing 2-point play. I'm not sure what Jimbo was thinking on that, but he's the head coach making $7.5 million a year. I'm not. I'm just saying. Clemson got after the quarterback all day long, and still some work to do. I think that's important that Dabo said as much on his post-game press conference. They've still got some things to do and clean up before they start hitting the meat of their ACC schedule. So really good game on both halves. I think there's a lot of growing to do on both halves, and I think both teams have a bright future. Water break. All right. Second game from the SEC was Georgia at South Carolina. Kirby Smart looks to have the Bulldogs really tuned in right now as they really just manhandle South Carolina from start to finish and no pause in between. The duo of Swift and Holyfield, yeah, he's a Vander's kid. But looked to be really effective, paired with the 2 quarterbacks. Looked to have a really good game, so good on them. I'm going to call myself Kobe from now on because I called this one, okay? Kentucky at Florida, going down, picking up the victory, and it happened exactly how your boy said it was going to happen. Ran the ball, Benny Snell, 175 yards on the ground. Check. Defense holding on late. Let's see. Sack, strip, fumble, scoop and score. 27-16 final. Man, they're going to be talking about this one in Lexington for a long, long time. Maybe through basketball season. Who knows? Moving on to the Big Ten. Colorado and Nebraska. I mentioned this kid's last time. I mentioned this kid last time in the Week 1 recap. Go back and look at it if you don't believe me. Steve Montez had another big game for the Buffs as he had 350 yards through the air and another 3 touchdowns, spoiling Scott Frost's debut in Lincoln. Buffs win 33-28. The Brain Bowl, as it was tabbed. Blue Devils exploded for 21 points in the fourth quarter out of nowhere. And they would ride that on to the victory as the defense is locked in for the second half, really for a struggle. And Blue Devils held on for a 21-7 victory for David Cutler's squad. Battle for the Cy-Hawk Trophy there in the Big Ten. Points turned out to be a premium. Did not see that one happening. Oh wait, yeah, I did. It's Iowa. They're gonna play smash mouth cornbread football all day long. They win for the Iowa put a touchdown in to seal the deal in the last 5 minutes for a 13-3 victory over the Cyclones of Iowa State. Moving on to the Big 12. Colin Colby again. Oklahoma, UCLA at Oklahoma. Ended up being, it looked like a closer game. However, Kyler Murray accounted for 5 touchdowns, both in the air, on the ground, and the Sooners cruised to a 28-point victory, 49-21. Just like I said they would. Told you they were going to put up points, and I believe this is going to be the MO for the rest of the year for the Sooners. Mississippi State at Kansas State. Bulldogs played well. The defense just was harassing Wildcat quarterbacks all afternoon. And on offense, the Bulldogs put together a very nice ground and with a complimentary air attack with Kylan Hill and taking 211 yards on 17 carries. Man, that'll get you a nice average every day of the week. Finally, Tulsa going into Austin playing the Texas Longhorns. Longhorns managed to hold off the Golden Hurricane, Cyclone, Tropical Depression, whatever they are. I don't know. Long enough to get out of Austin with a W. Longhorns win 28-21. Going to the Pac-10, Bryce Love proved that he's the man when it comes crunch time. 135 yards for the Stanford Cardinal as the Trojans take the L. Shoot, I don't have a score for them. I know they beat them like 17-3. I think that's right. Sounds right. Anyway, Stanford D stood tall. Definitely big boy ball, playing keep away from the Trojans. So the men of Troy will have to go back to L.A. and find another way to win. Michigan State at Arizona State in the late game. Both quarterbacks had a great game, throwing for, I think, combined 600 yards. But what it came down to was a 28 field goal by the kicker, Brandon Ruiz, as time expired to give Coach Edwards and the Sun Devils the victory. So, congratulations to them on 2 in a row. Arizona at Houston. This I did not see coming at all. Wildcats just had no answer for Houston's offense and couldn't really get too much going on their own side of the offense. And De'Aaron King for the Cougars helped the Cougars score 31 answered points in the first half. They kind of led the route, and that was all she wrote. As Houston wins 45-18, giving Kevin Sumlin a huge headache. And finally, my cupcake of the week. Those poor, poor souls from Savannah, Georgia. Savannah State Tigers taking on the Miami Hurricanes. Last time it was 77-7. This time it was 77-0. Those big bullies from Coral Gables. And I feel sorry for the Savannah State Tigers. I really do. Because I mean, yeah, you knew you were going to get your teeth kicked in when you went down to Miami, but this is 2 weeks in a row, no points, and last week you lost 52-0 to the UAB Blazers, and they did not have a football program that long ago. Poor guys. I hope there is some light at the end of this dismal tunnel that you were facing. That about wraps it up for the week. I appreciate you guys tuning in. As always, I am Big T. Thank you for joining me. If you have some things you want to see, some different ideas, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, like, subscribe, and share. And we will see you next time on the not so official NCAA Pick'em Show. Thanks.